Joining me tonight is Eric Burns, Democratic strategist and founder of Bullfight Strategies. David K. Johnston, also with us tonight, author of the book Free Lunch and columnist for Reuters, and Mike Papantonio, host of the Ring of Fire radio show. Mike, I got to ask you right away, you've been successful in your profession for a long time. How in the heck did you ever make it when you were paying 39%? How in the heck did you ever survive when you were paying 39%? It's a good thing that those tax cuts were there so you could make it, right, buddy?
It's tough. I was so startled, Ed. I was literally so startled by what O'Reilly said the other night. I tried to do a quick analysis of why he's so worried about money, why he's so worried about taxes. The quick analysis is this. He must be worried about his net worth. I remember Bill O'Reilly paid Andrea McCreese, one of his producers, that he out-of-court settlement so she would drop sexual harassment charges against him. He paid her millions of dollars to hush up, but in the process, we learned he was worth $50 million. So in my financial analysis, I thought, well, surely he wasn't worried about that. So I thought maybe he was spending too much money having the New York police follow around his wife and his wife's boyfriend. Maybe he was spending a ton of money there, but that wouldn't make a dent into his $50 million net worth. So maybe he's only left with $20 million after a bad divorce. I don't know, but I got to tell you this. Most people really don't care whether Bill O'Reilly shows up tomorrow night at all. They don't care whether he goes home or shows up. 46 million Americans now have to rely on food stamps to eat, and Bill O'Reilly asks us to have some sympathy for him. It's an absurd position.
David K. Johnston, give us the numbers. If it goes up 3.5%, 4%, what's it mean to millionaires, whether they're making $1, $5, or $10 million? I mean, what does it really mean? What is the sacrifice?
Well, the Tax Policy Center estimates that when you work it all through, it's a 1.2 percentage point increase for people who make over $1 million a year. And let's give an idea of how much money that is. The median income taxpayer in America has to work 97 years to make $1 million. The average income of people over $1 million is $3 million. So you'd have to be around for almost 300 years to make what the average person in this group makes in a year.
That's an amazing number. Eric, what would it be like if Bill O'Reilly really packed it in?
Well, Ed, I think it would be one of the greatest days for this country and certainly for our media debate that I can recall. I mean, I really hope he goes, and I'd be happy to pay his fictitious 50% in taxes of my considerably lower salary to see him go. I mean, you know, I don't think there's any.
It really shows their selfishness.
Have a fact-based debate in this country.
Yeah, it really shows their selfishness, no doubt. But Erica, you know, Bill O'Reilly says that, you know, and Limbaugh says that, you know, he's more powerful than the president. What's your response to that?
Well, I laughed at that. You know, maybe 5 years ago that was true, but I think Glenn Beck last year showed us how not powerful, you know, Bill O'Reilly is, and he's just kind of bloviating the usual stuff that he does. But, you know, what's really, really insidious about this is this whole class warfare attack. I mean, Limbaugh made this reference to the fact that he doesn't want to go it alone. He's not going it alone. Paul Ryan on the Sunday shows invoked the class warfare argument 5 times before Obama had even come out and given this speech. This is about dividing the country, and it's frankly it's a coded racial attack, you know, which we've seen so many times from the right. It's about dividing Obama and the Democrats from the middle class in this country, all while these guys are advocating, you know, devouring the middle class and destroying it.
Mike, how tough of a sell is this going to be for the Obama supporters to go out there and say that 98% of the American people aren't going to be affected by this? I mean, it was on the local news tonight here in Minneapolis. I mean, it's the millionaire's tax. Everybody's talking about it. The president's obviously got the country talking about it. But is this going to be a heavy lift, a hard sell? What do you think?
I think it's going to be something he has to talk about, and I think if you say it enough, people start hearing it. When you say it one time, it goes over their head. He's smart enough to understand right now this is the issue, Ed. This is the issue. You can call. They want to call it class war. It's class genocide, is what it is. It's class genocide, and the millionaires and the billionaires in corporate America have won this war. He has to remind America this isn't class war. It's class genocide, and the only way way to correct it, is to help America dig its way out from underneath this war rubble that the Republicans have left us with. Look, he's at his best right now. He's on message. If he'll do that these next 13 months, he'll have the presidency in his hand. Divide, divide, divide from the, I don't mean divide the country, but divide these crybaby millionaires from the rest of the country and make us understand really what they're about.
And David K. Johnson, part of the platform of the president moving forward with this new economic initiative is to reform the tax code and get the corporations to pay more at a different rate. Would the country be better off if we were to lower the corporate tax rate and take away the write-offs? Would there be a gain? Would there be more money coming into the Treasury?
Well, it would be better off if we did this for manufacturers, not for bankers and speculators who are big beneficiaries of tax breaks, but for manufacturers who have to deal in the physical world, yes. And Ed, you know, this plan the president has a very clever trap in it for the Republicans. The president's plan would give everyone with a job a tax cut next year. Every employer in America would get a tax cut. There'd be a huge one-year write-off for any new capital equipment by companies. The Republicans vote against this, the very things they have said they want. Imagine how that's going to be used against them in a campaign, especially if they won't even bring it up for a vote in the House because they're afraid of what will happen. So that's the thing to watch, is this very clever trap the president has set out for the Republicans in the first year of this bill, 2012.
All right. Eric Burns, David K. Johnson, Mike Papantonio, always a pleasure. Great to have you with us tonight. Remember to answer tonight's question there at the bottom of the screen. You can see it. We want to know what you think. The president's plan gives Democrats in the House and Senate a clear opportunity to stand behind him, to take it to the American people. When we come back, Congresswoman Maxine Waters and Senator Sherrod Brown join me, and later, funding family vacations with tax dollars, comparing gays to alcoholics, and meeting in private with Rupert Murdoch. It's just another week in Rick Perry's America. Stay with us. We're right back.